What's up, guys? So, we did the unboxing for the Idiot's Reginlaze a little while ago. Yeah, not very long ago, really. But, yeah. Figure we're going to go ahead and do the build and review, because that's what we do. Now, I'm going to skip the build montage for this, because we've already done a Reginlaze build montage, so it'll be a quick build, since we've already kind of done this. And much like the Gray's Ritter we did a couple weeks ago, it's going to be a shorter review since we've already looked at most of this. So we'll look at the differences between this and a normal Reginlaze, the Julieta's at least. But we'll go from there. Alright, first let's look at the box. And of course we have some awesome box art here done in a weird tannish brown color because P-BANDAI, they sepia, not sepia, they monochrome things, just whatever one color, and that becomes it. But of course you get his Reginlaze here with his awesome, I think it's a railgun, realistically. It's actually really cool. I mean, it makes him almost like a sniper, which he does actually have some pretty good skill. He's just an idiot. And this is, of course, in the first time they run into him out in space. So you got meteors and stuff going all over the place. You've got the idiot over here in the corner. Iron-Blooded Orphans over here. HG Iron-Blooded Orphans. A very long EOX Reginlaze. Actually, probably just says Mobile Suit Reginlaze or just Reginlaze and EOX right there. And of course it says right there, 2017, yay for that. All the stuff down at the bottom. It only contains an EOX Reginlaze. That's actually not technically true, sort of, maybe, I don't know. But we come down here, we've got, you know, just stuff. Come around here, we got BANDAIHobby.net and repeat of box art. And come over here, and blah, blah, blah. And then you got your warnings right there. Just leave EOK off the battlefield entirely. It's just going to screw up all of your plans. That's exactly what it says right there. And of course, over here you have the little guy with toilet, 1,500 yen. I wish. Now this one wasn't like stupid expensive, but it was more than just that because you are going to pay more than normal. Oh, that's actually cool. It does actually have a disclaimer saying that it comes with the normal Julieta's Reginlaze handbook. That's pretty neat. This is just a purposeless pause to actually just pad the runtime just a little bit, because I'm going to flip it upside down now. Yay. And it does say right there that the box art is done by Saito Yoshinobu. I love Saito Yoshinobu. Very, very good works. Can't make the idiot really look that good, realistically, but they did what it could. It's actually not terrible. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this guy built and take a look at it. Alright guys, so here we have the EOX Reginlaze, all done and done, and honestly, it does look pretty good. I was feeling weird about the kind of mustardy yellow that was here, but I'm actually not hating it, realistically. It's very different, just color-wise at least, and of course you can see the definite different weapon right here for sure, but I will say, guys, if you go back to my Reginlaze review, or even my Class of 2016 review, you guys know I hated the standard Reginlaze. Absolutely hated it. Me and Dan the Plastic Man were of very, very similar minds when it came to that particular kit. It suffered from a lot of issues, like just bad planning, bad design work on the part of Bandai. There's something strange about this kit. Mind you, it's the exact same Reginlaze base kit. But this one, I did not hate anywhere near as bad. I'll say that right off the bat. A lot of the problems that we had with the original, this one just doesn't have. And it could be, in some cases, because, well, we didn't use, or at least in this, you don't use all of the parts. I'm just going to bump the camera here. So let me move him back here for a second, get a wider shot. And you'll see exactly what you don't use. So you get this entire weapons runner, so you no longer use the rifle, that really, really sucks. You no longer use the stupid arm guard shields that suck. The ammo canisters, those don't really matter. Set those over here. Now with this, of course, this was for the option part set for the cannon there. These little bits you don't use for this guy, though I'm sure you probably still could on another kit of some sort. So you've got mounts that likely would work to hold that cannon up. So I'm going to save these parts. I always save on the extra parts because I'm in the middle of a big kit bash and I want to save that. Okay, you also get a part here. This is, pretty sure that plugs into the butt skirt. And you have all of the stuff back here that I'm pretty sure is all for the back thrusters, which this guy does not use, which are here. So the back thruster bits here, and of course, just the standard Reginlaze head, which, you know, depending on, just like with the Grays, depending on if you wanted to use a commander horn or not, that was up to you. He was a commander, so therefore he got to use a horn. So, at least in the case of the weapons that I absolutely hated, this one doesn't have that problem. Now, compared to the original one, which, let's just go ahead and do that. She doesn't get a stand. You don't get a stand, Reginlaze. I'm just kidding, just pull out a different stand here. Okay, so, while the design is, of course, the same, with the fact of, except for the fact of these right here that have altered. I don't remember which way they go. I'm going to point them forward. Yeah, like so. I think maybe this green was part of the problem because the nubs were worse on this than it was on this grayish brown. Of course, we don't have any of the problems with the stupid rifle. The hands are the same. I still have to hate on the hands a little bit, but at least the rifle, you're not using that. It's nowhere near as bad. This gun is really, really cool, though it has some mounting issues I'll go over later. Things that we complained about, these side armors here on the legs, which I had to beef up to glue on, make sure they didn't stay, or make sure they would stay. These shoulder armors that popped off very easily, those, not a problem. This one actually wants to stay very, very well. So, it's almost like this version of the mold, at least the earlier runs of it, sucked like hardcore. This one is much, much better. Just a better, tighter mold. Everything works just better. Maybe I just like the color scheme a little bit more. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with this one. It's actually not terrible. And once again, on camera, it looks like the right color, but actually in real life, it doesn't. So I'm going to get her out of the way here. And we'll take a closer look at the Idiot's Reginlaze. So, like, the joints are, like, supremely tight on this. Like, it could probably easily stand on his own once you put the heel spurs down, that is. Because he does have tiny little spacefaring feet. There's not like a ground Reginlaze. Even though they fought on Mars a couple times, potentially not on Earth, if I recall correctly. It'll stand okay with the little heel spurs down. But once again, he's actually pretty cool. But losing the stupid arm-mounted shield dealies actually is a huge, huge plus. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to remove his weapon here. This is one small problem. Just this little handle tends to get hung up on the hand. It happens. It's not terrible, but it does happen. Now you do still have the really dumb way the hand works. So this whole bit here is the wrist way back here, and the hand pivots right there. That's still a really stupid idea, but you know, it works a little bit better in this one than it did in the original. Now, one thing this thing has problematically is big gun syndrome. You know, it's just really hard to maneuver such a large weapon. But just real quick, I'm going to go over articulation and stuff. So you get the shoulder armors move independently, like so. These parts up here actually do swivel. These actually fell off really bad. If you actually go back, please go back and watch the Reginlaze review where I throw all the parts off to the back that fell off as I was reviewing it. There's one part on here, one that bothers me, and it's right here in the chest because sometimes you hit it and it wants to flip up like that. Maybe it's an inadvertent cockpit release. I don't know. But I dig this one better. I mean, maybe it is the color, but I don't know. The head is still, you know, you can still turkey neck. You can still rotate at an awkward angle because of the way everything's designed. If you try really hard, you can go all the way around. It gets a little bit hung up. So the extra wide head on this was probably unnecessary. I would totally just slap a Gray's head on here because otherwise it's exactly the same. You don't have quite as much articulation as you would from a Gray's shoulder, but you do get decent movement if you raise the armor out of the way. And we can get an okay height teacher. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna stop using this tripod again. I went back to using it for Master Grade Monday, and it's annoying the crap out of me already. So, I think realistically, if they wanted a second generation advanced version of a Graze, really they should have just left the Graze frame alone, because that was perfect in and of itself, and just found the new way to engineer some new armor, because you don't get quite as much. I mean, you get a decent shrug because of the way the ball joints are mounted, but that's pretty much it. You have, see, that's where that annoys me. You do still have a great deal of torso articulation like so, but the overall look is not nearly as good as what the Graze does. Even a Gundam frame wouldn't be terrible under here. Somebody does that honking. Alright, so you get a full-on Jean-Claude. Actually, the way these hips work aren't too bad, even though it's only just a T-mount. You do get thigh rotation. Could go all the way around, but once again, why do you need your thighs to spin all the way around? You can get an incredibly high kick. You can actually knee yourself in the chest with it. If you guys can't tell, my tone is actually very different with this kit versus the original Reginlaze. The knee, you can see that's a pretty ridiculous bend for a double jointed knee. That's actually better than some of the Grazes that have like excessive armor. You have probably the weaker part of this thing, the way the foot articulates. So you've got this very crazy ankle swivel here, and then the lower ankle swivel like so. So it's almost like this thing was meant to partially transform or something, because I can't see a reason that you need that much ankle pivot, but you don't have the ability to like turn the foot in any direction. Like that's one weakness. You can't rotate the foot by itself. Even on standard Graze, you just have a polycap, and it works. You got some decent molded detail, stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, this Reginlaze is better than the Juliet is. It just is. Now, realistically, I can't wait to actually build the Reginlaze Julia, the Regen Julia, as it were. That thing is probably going to be pretty cool. I'm going to put him back on the stand just for a moment. You guys know I don't use the stands too often anymore, but being this is a spacefaring suit for the most part, he needs to do that. Oh, I forgot the waist articulation. He does have some. Like so. See, that actually looks pretty mean. It's got to just be the colors, right? Is that all it is? Is that all I'm falling in love with, is the colors? Alright, so we have the big old gun. And yeah, it's a huge gun. Barely fits on the screen. Very simple construction. You know, you just got your sandwiches, you know, here and here. You got a nice little collar that rotates all the way around right there with the bendy little handle, so you can hold it any way you want. This handle also spins around, so realistically, you can mount this left or right, or if you're a crazy person and you have two of them, you can, in fact, mount a second one because of this. Now, this is one of the core problems I had with this kit. Oh, hold on. I will say one thing before I get to a complaint. This is molded in the proper colors. Bandai proved you can mold this thing in all of the proper colors and give it the rubberized plastic chain belt there. All in a single runner. So why couldn't they do this with the option set? Maybe I'm stupid. And because I may not have actually opened that option set. It's up there. I have it. So anyways, what I was saying. You can pull this off like so. And you got a big peg right there. So problem is, when you have the belt actually installed, you cannot push this on all the way. In fact, I have this glued in place. I had to cut down the peg by about half so that it would fit with the belt plugged on. So this is now permanently installed unless I really feel like just yoinking it out of there. But actually, the cool thing is that the way the chain mounts, or the belt mounts, you can get some nice flex. Now, you can hold it, as we saw already. You just put it through his hand, like so. Now, of course, you don't have to have him holding it with the other hand, but it is what it is. Now, you can hold it just fine, like just like that. No problem holding it. But if you want to, you got to put the ammo pack, technically is what it is, or charge pack, something, whatever it is, back on the butt skirt. It does actually mount fairly nice. Actually, I like the finish on that black. It's actually got a nice semi-gloss black. So he can hold it just fine like that, and that still gives you a little bit of mobility with the gun. You can rotate it however you need to, more or less. Give it a little bit of upturn, bend it with the elbow, tuck it right up into the armpit, kind of like so. And you can bend this kind of almost any way you need to. Now, one problem you'll see right here, this is actually a mount for it that plugs in right here. If you have that plugged in there, you will lose a ton of mobility because of the way the peg is. Let me see if I can take it all apart here without messing anything up. Once again, if it gets all the way in the hand, it gets actually pretty deep in there. So what you have, gotta find out how I'm going to do this. Get out of the way, arm. You have all of this right inside there, and it just plugs in, and it can rotate just a little bit. Now, if they really wanted you to be able to move that around, they would have made that a ball joint and a swivel so that it could actually move while still attached. Now, let's see if I can actually get it to plug in. It's supposed to plug in right here on this armor. And it's nearly impossible to do so. So I'm going to see if I can pull it off the gun without making a big mess. I made a big mess. Literally everything just went flying. I swear it sounded like something went flying over there. Okay, plug the arm back on. So, this is the culprit here. So, just big tab there, little tab there. So, if you really want to do it, you got to plug it on first, like so. Nice little weapon mount. Considering there was nothing else on here, I have no idea what just went flying. But the gun actually does have a compact mode, more or less. So you can tuck the barrel away like so. Not entirely certain why you want to do it, but you can. So if you want to, you plug it onto the butt skirt. And if you can finagle it, let me see if I can get the arm up and out of the way. Probably not. Rotate this. Try to take over the world. Or plug it into the side skirt. See, it plugged into the gun and unplugged from the side skirt. So you really have to like flex this belt quite a bit. I mean, it's very flexible, so that's not really a problem. You just got to get it where you need it to plug in, or else it do not work. It do not want to work. Come on. There. So now it's kind of stuck like that. Now you only have a very tiny little hinge right here to try to do that. So you can actually, like I said, more or less tuck that out of the way. I'm going to notice a new problem with this. This shoulder doesn't want to stay untucked. Now odds are that's probably so you could backpack mount it and fold it away nicely. So we'll go ahead and re-extend the barrel. I would be careful with that little bitty hinge. It is kind of stupid. Alright, so now that we have it mounted here, let's try to put his arm back in place without popping the shoulder off somehow again. Because that seems to be the thing of the day. Is to just pop that shoulder right off. And see, it's already trying to pull the mount off the side skirt. So if you really want to, you could totally just glue the mount to the side skirt and then just pull the gun off whenever you want to freewheel it. Because other than pointing it forward at this point, that's about all you're going to do. You're not going to be able to really get any kind of angle on it without having to hold everything in place first. So it'll still do really good. That looks awesome. Get him with a little bit of bent knee. Now mind you, if you move the leg, you're going to move that side skirt. So you got to be careful, because it won't pop off. So that's going to be it for the IOK's Reginlaze, guys. It already went a little bit longer than anticipated, but hey, it works. If you're lucky enough to get your hands on this, I actually do think this is a better kit. It's awesome that it comes with this gun, and you can eliminate a lot of the issues that I had with it in the first place. Now, I do have one other version of the Reginlaze, which is a P-BANDAI. Most of you have not gotten to see it, and that's perfectly fine. It'll pop up again later. As for you patrons, you should have another video just for you guys actually up on the thing. It is another P-BANDAI unboxing. As for normal YouTube, you guys will see it in about 30 days. So it's up to you if you want to see it then, or you can pay $5 a month to see some exclusive videos early, or things that are just for Patreon. But that's it for this review, guys. If you're new here, like and subscribe. We picked up a whole lot of new people very recently. And yeah, welcome to the channel, guys. This is what we do. We make fun of this guy because he's an idiot. But I'll talk to you guys next time. Remember, as always, keep on building.